Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades, and thank you for your patience. I was not able to post a video yesterday. I was in a snowstorm dealing with a car accident incident, you know how it goes, life. But yeah, very happy to be back on the charts today, and we can see that Bitcoin is chopping sideways today. However, we did make a very nice new high today, and the S&P 500, as you guys can see, a nice pump towards the upside as Tesla beats earnings. And again, some very good news on some earnings and some disappointing news on some other earnings, but overall market rallying towards the upside. And you guys can see we retested this 200-day moving average as support. But let's do some analysis on their crypto first, and then we're going to cover equities and stocks, and then we're going to finish it off with commodities. And oh boy, are we excited to talk about commodities. Lots of action there. More action actually probably than crypto in the last couple of days. But let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. We can see that we have been chopping sideways. We've been ranging here. We can see that we are still in this bearish divergence. We did make a very nice high yesterday. And mentioning that, let me just pull up the Discord, because we just closed in another banger of a trade once again, bagging in a 45% win. Let me take a look right here. I'll just pull it up for you guys. I don't know why it's not showing it up as flashing yellow anymore. That's weird. Hopefully it's showing up for everyone else. But right now we can see that we just closed again another 47% winner inside the Discord. Again, not every day that we're gonna trade win 47%. I think the last one was only 20%, and then again we hit some stop losses that before. So it's not all the time that we always make these wins. So just full disclosure, all the profit loss history are posted on my website. You guys can take a look, and if you guys want access to my trades, you guys can join the Discord, or premium Discord. But if you guys just want to join the free Discord and have a chat with everyone, you can always do that as well. We welcome all members. Let's keep going here. Let's take a look at some other coins. We could take a look at Engine, Gala, whatever you guys want. You guys can actually leave your coins in the description. I could always do some analysis for you guys inside the Discord. I'm more than happy. You can see that Engine popped up all the way to its 200-day moving average, and we are in a short right now. We're basically back at break even on Engine, and I don't know why it's there we go. And again, we can see that it had a massive pump of 80%, and right now we're seeing some major resistance on Engine. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if we get a big dip back towards the downside, maybe back here, back to its previous resistance, which was basically right at the 31 cents right here. And you guys can see we blasted right through that. So maybe we retest this as support before we get a next leg towards the upside, as most people are expecting a next leg towards the upside for Bitcoin. But we're seeing, I'm getting some mixed signals right now for Bitcoin in the stock market inside the gold members discussing all day long. It's very interesting what everyone has to say. I can actually pull up a few discussions. I don't think they're gonna mind too much. I think I told them I was gonna include it inside the video, so let me just pull it up here. I think John Wicht said that interesting times, nothing bullish about front running the rate increase, tapering stocks, and speculative assets pumping. Market sentiment is flipping bullish. Seems like we could slam into resistance on one news headline and back down to the depths. And John Wicht is not wrong. He's not wrong at all. He could be right, as more news is going to come out in the coming days. We have more earnings, and then we have the long-awaited FOMC meeting, which is going to be on February, I believe 2nd or 1st. Let me just pull it up, Forex Factory here for you guys. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because I did miss yesterday's video due to my personal events. But yeah, let's take a look here. We have February 1st is going to be the FOMC meeting. The federal funds rate is expected to increase by 25 basis points. Everybody knows this. And the Bank of Canada recently increased their rates as well yesterday by 25 basis points. That was in lines with expectations. But yeah, overall, if Jerome Powell reinforces the statement that they are going to be hawkish and that there will be no rate cuts this year. He wants to confirm, he wants the markets to understand that there will be no rate cuts, although the market is pricing in rate cuts. right? They expect the economy to slip into recession, and they expect the Fed to come save it as per usual, as they've been doing the last 10, 20 years. Every time the economy slips into recession, they start printing money, right? But now they're trying to tell the markets, no, that's not what we're gonna do. I know we've been doing it consistently for a consistent basis for a very long time, but this time is different. We will not come to the rescue, is what they're saying, because of the high inflation. But the market seems to think that it doesn't matter, they're always gonna come, and that's why some people are still putting in $30,000, $60,000 price targets for Bitcoin for this year, even with the the economy getting worse and worse and worse. And yes, technically we could pump up to 30,000 or even higher price targets if the Fed actually does start to pivot, although that would be a catastrophic mistake. But we're gonna have to see what happens, right? We know not everybody knows everything. Even me, I don't know everything. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on Market Cipher on the 4-hour time frame. This will give you guys a little bit of a better idea of what's happening to Bitcoin. We can see that we are starting to slow down right here. The momentum is starting to curl back to a flat zone here for Bitcoin. We're starting to see some resistance. Money flow, however, is doing very, very well. Momentum is starting to decrease. Basically, as you guys can see, the prices stop slowing down from its massive rally, and momentum is decreasing. But what's really interesting is that on the 4-hour time frame is that we could see a big decrease in that green money flow, and we're seeing some consistent bearish divergences. We just made a high here, and then we made a little bit of a, I guess we didn't make it really much of a higher high, but we got a bit of a bearish momentum wave with a red dot, and we anchored back down, and then we pumped up, and we actually made a higher high here. And now we didn't make a higher high in the momentum wave, so you can see that the momentum is decreasing significantly. And we don't forget, we still got that gap down. We still got that gap down on the CME futures right here for Bitcoin. Let me just pull it up. You still got a big gap fill right here at $19,930. So that it would be a big drop to a big 14% drop. Could be in line with the markets dropping, but we need a catalyst, right? Nothing drops for no reason. There is always a news event or a reason for an asset to drop. So just keep an eye on this, because I still think we are in a bear market. We did get a big influx of green money flow, but if we cut back into that red money flow, we could stay in it for a while. All right, so just wanted you guys to get the full picture here. We are actually in that red money flow right now on the 4-hour time frame. It is pretty close to that zero line, but just keep an eye on it. Anyways, let's take a look at the S&P today. S&P, again, like I said, getting a very nice rally towards the upside, bursting through this trend line. Finally, it got rejected. It got rejected right here as well. I guess you pierced it, but you came back down. And then once we got above it, we were trying to hold it as support, and now we're above it once again. So let's see if tomorrow we come back down, retest this as support, and maybe we're gonna pump up to 4,100 on the S&P, or 4120, which would be my next target for the S&P. And after that, if we can get above that and hold above 4120, then it's going to be 4200, and then 4300 would be the final major target if the S&P keeps pumping towards the upside. Again, this could happen if the Fed signals to the markets that they could pivot sooner than expected. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones getting rejected very nicely here. You guys can see a pivot high, pivot high, pivot high, pivot high, and then we're starting to come back here once again. Kind of like the S&P, we were rejected right here, right here, right here, right here, and then as we got closer and closer, you could see that we were tagging it significantly more here, and finally we broke through. Kind of like what we're doing in the Dow Jones right here. We tagged it, and now we're tagging it, and we're about to form a little bit of a little tiny little cup and handle maybe, and we're gonna punch right through. So let's see what happens. Anyways, let's dive into commodities. Let's just start off with the long-awaited one, natural gas. A lot of people inside the Discord trading nat gas with me right now. A lot of people are excited. We can see that nat gas has been plummeting since like November, non-stop dropping. Basically, I guess you could say we got a nice little bounce right here, right on the $5 mark, and then after that level, it was basically full-on capitulation, and we've just been dropping since like December, middle of December, and it's down more than like 50. It went as low as 60% today, and we finally found a bit of a bottom here. You guys can see, I'm not too worried about this. I'm not worried at all actually in this nat gas trade, because we can see the amount of significant support that is coming into this area for natural gas is going to provide a significant floor, in my opinion. And I think we are going to get a very significant bounce, because if anybody knows physics or how stocks go, the faster you go down, the faster you're going to bounce back up. Obviously it's not going to go back up to $10, although it's a possibility. Anything is possible, although I think this is like a 0.001% chance of happening. I think we have a better chance of maybe getting a bounce back up to this gap fill right here, right around $4.36. But yeah, you're gonna hit some targets way before then, right around $3.52. But ultimately, if you keep going back up and you get enough momentum with the stock market as well, if demand comes back for nat gas, it gets colder, you could easily see $5 price targets, because that's what most analysts are looking at, is that nat gas is going to be priced around $5.50. But yeah, overall looking very, very good for our natural gas trade. If it starts to play out back towards the upside, you guys can even take a look at some shorter time frames here on that gas. Is that we've been getting constantly rejected from that 220 EMA right here. Rejected. We pierce it a little bit, then we get rejected. We pierce it, we get rejected. So if we can burst right through it, kind of like what we did here back in, where am I here? Back in October, right? And we start to get above it, and we start to chop it, and the EMAs start to tighten once again, then you can get a nice punch back up towards the upside. So this could be a little bit of a longer term trade, but I won't mind holding this trade for a couple months, even if for the amount that I put into it. I expect some pretty significant returns. So let's just see how this one plays out. Very interesting. Gold, finally. Gold has reached 1950. Again, getting very close to one of my targets, which is basically 1970. I'll be looking to maybe get it on a leverage short here for gold. I do expect it to start to pull back. If gold does get to this level and starts to tank, then I could easily see the markets going down with it as well, as the DXY is getting very, very, very close to some major support right around 101. Spot 45. So if we get a bounce here back in $1, which could be aligned with the FOMC, coming out with their hawkish statements, maybe it goes back up to its 200-day moving average, which is at 106.4. Again, I know these price targets may seem like out of the world right now because of where the DXY is right now, and the trajectory we took down. And it seems like just because we're falling so fast, it seems like there's no end in sight, kind of like what the natural gas trade is looking like, because we've just been collapsing ever since. And I remember telling people that we were shorting this at $9.95 when nat gas was topping out here, and people thought we were insane, and they thought that nat gas was going to $15. I was I was just so taken back about the bullishness in nat gas, and now I'm just so taken back in the bearishness in natural gas, because in Canada here it's freezing. It's well, at least where I am right now today, it's very cold. So I'm not sure why the demand is so low. I guess the supply is abundant, although the natural gas storage came out today, and it was actually minus 91 billion cubic meters. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Anyways, let's move on here. Let's take a look at silver really quickly. You can see that silver did get a rejection right around 24.35, but it's coming back, and it just keeps knocking on that door. It just keeps hammering here, and eventually it could start to break out and potentially tag some next resistance levels right around $25.40 and $28.33 all the way up here. But in my opinion, I think the more likely scenario is that silver is going to potentially get rejected here once again if the FOMC news is hawkish. You can see that the DXY is going to spike, then you're going to see precious metals and commodities start to come down as well. And you guys can see that the miners and my long-term portfolio of holding these miners are actually performing quite well. We can see that we've been rallying consistently from the lows with gold as well. You can see that Freeport, McMoran had a very good earnings as well, and had a nice little pop, I think, on earnings. Yeah, you can see that. Boo! Yeah, right there. Very nice. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. If you guys want to get access to my trades, the link's in the description. If you guys don't want to get access to your trades but just want to join the community, feel free to join with the link in the description. It says Discord free membership. Anyways, love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Peace. And if you guys want to sign up for Big Get Trading, my link's in the description.